All right, guys, so I want to react to an AOC meltdown, a classic AOC meltdown that is actually flying under the radar on the internet, as there was congressional hearings. I'm assuming it was about climate change, right, in the environment, in which there was an exchange between a female environmental activist or climate activist and Congressional Representative Mr. Clay Higgins from Louisiana about the petrochemical industry in that state. And AOC lost her mind because of how the congressman was talking to the climate activist, essentially implying that he was talking to her in a way that was disrespectful because she was a woman. So I want to react to that. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel and you want to support my channel, you can check out my merch, my donkeypox shirts, the disease that is affecting America, or my hashtag no days off / hard work patriotic t-shirts, or my MAGA hub shirts. There are plenty of cool merch at my website, gforemanbcp.com, for you guys to check out. Get 20% off using discount code gforemanbcp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this clip of this congressional debate so you guys can get a better understanding of what's going on, and then I'm going to react to the View's reaction to this heated exchange. Take a look.
Everything you've got is petrochemical products. What would you do with that? Tell the world.
I don't need that power, because what I would do is ask you, sir, from Louisiana.
I'm giving you the power. You're presenting.
To search you, sir, from Louisiana, to search your heart. These are some of the most toxic, polluting facilities in the world.
Boo. You've got no answer, do you, young lady, about what to do with petrochemical products, so I'll move on. What are you going to do with ocean-going vessels? What do you do with the maritime industry?
Well, we could, again, I would ask you to search your heart for what is happening on the coast of Louisiana. Of course we do. We need to move away from petrochemicals. We need to shut down the petrochemical facilities in your state and move away from plastic. We need to move away from it.
And there are... It's insane. Do you care about the planet, good lady? Like, do you have ecological concern for real? Like, from a biblical perspective, we were given, the Lord gave us dominion over the planet and the creatures thereof. Now, the original translations of dominion means to care for and nurture. So from a biblical perspective, I am an environmentalist. I love my planet and the people and the creatures thereof. Do you?
Sir, if we're going to talk about the Lord, I ask that you search your heart again and think about repenting.
I search my heart very quickly. I love the planet. I'm asking you, do you?
The fossil fuel industry that owns your state is destroying the earth and the natural world, and that is a fact, sir.
You know what you got, young lady? You got a lot of noise, but you got no answers.
I have never seen members of Congress, Republican or Democrat, disrespect a witness in the way that I have seen them disrespect you today. Men who treat women like that in public, I fear how they treat them in private.
Yeah, so during that exchange, Congressman Higgins had referred to Miss Rhea Salters, the climate activist there. She's an environmental lawyer. He referred to her as young lady and boo. And that triggered AOC to no end, claiming that she's never seen this type of disrespect towards a congressperson. And we're going to talk more about that, as AOC really doesn't have any room to talk about disrespect being shown during a congressional hearing. But first, I want to go ahead and react to the cackling hens on The View who are reacting to this little outburst from AOC, and go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead.
Men who treat women like that in public, I fear how they treat them in private.
Yeah, so automatically off the bat, right? Does The View only have liberal women in their audience, right? Because every time they say something insane in far left, they clap, right? They clap. Do they discriminate against people politically that are going to be in the audience. Again, I got to question exactly how to get the audience. But AOC there is doing something that I think is very disingenuous. She's implying that because he referred to her as a young lady, which AOC has had an outburst about that before, people referring to her as a young lady or whatever, he's some type of abuser, right? That he abuses his wife, which is such a slanderous, grimy smear from AOC. Oh, you said something to me that I don't like. You must beat your wife, right? You must be a wife beater. You must be a abuser, according to AOC. Again, she's so fake and disingenuous, man.
I don't know if you caught the last word that we heard in that clip, but what he did was call that expert witness boo. Boo. Which, and I'm sure he would not have done that to a white man. Right. I mean, that's the kind of...
I don't know, he might have said bud or brother, right? Or use some other phrase or term that, I don't know, dudes typically use to refer to people when they don't know their names off the top of their heads or when they're just talking, okay? So, I mean, look, I don't know why he said the word boo, but I'm not going to think too hard about it because I know that when dudes talk to each other, we use terms like dude or bro or brother or, whatever, right, to refer to each other. Again, don't know why he used the term boo, but again, I don't think it's worth getting all outraged and upset about. Unless you're trying to make the argument that, well, he shouldn't be calling people that in Congress. He should be calling her by her, last name or whatever. He should be formally addressing her. That's the only solid argument I can hear here, right? But during these congressional hearings, all these politicians kind of go off on the deep end in regards to, trying to make a political show. Now, in this situation right here, I don't think this guy was trying to make a political show as much as he was trying to prove a point that, we prove a lot with these climate activists, which is that they don't have any solutions. They talk about problems all day, but they don't have any solutions. During that exchange, he was asking that woman, he asked her 1,000 times, okay, you want us to shut down our petrochemical facilities in Louisiana, essentially, destroying our state's economy. Great. What is your alternative, right? What alternatives are you proposing that we could use instead of petrochemicals? She didn't have any alternatives. And that's why the guy doing the exchange was just like, what the F? You're talking a lot, but you're not giving us any solutions, right?
Language that you hear, in Real Housewives reunions, right? Yeah. Who's gonna check me, boo? So unless he is auditioning for a part, in some sort of melodrama like that, really it is incredibly disrespectful to treat an expert witness testifying in front of your committee that way.
And let them speak. That's the other thing is these hearings have become such a performance, monologues by the politicians to get their gotcha questions in their moments. Well, I think everyone in that room owes the American people a moment to listen to why that person was invited to talk.
Yeah, but see, the thing is he did let her talk. She wasn't saying anything, right? She was filibustering. When he asked her a very specific question about what would you do if you had the power, right, to replace petrochemicals, how would you fix this problem? She did not have an answer. Why would I let somebody continue to talk in the filibuster, taking up my time when they're not trying to answer the question, which is a very fair question?
Because we see that time and time again.
It's so much political theater. I've testified in front of Congress. I testified as an expert witness about cameras in the courtroom and the federal judiciary. And I wasn't called boo, but I was not treated as respectfully as I should have been with my 30 years of experience in these areas. But I will tell you, they're not that interested in listening to what's being said. But what is important is that it becomes part of the congressional record. And that way, hopefully, past does not become prologue. Perhaps we won't continue to use petrochemicals to decimate our climate. And so I think it was important that she was there. I think it's important that what she said is in the congressional record, but I dare you to find one woman of color, especially a black woman, who has not been demeaned and has not been spoken to in that manner.
Stop, Sonny. Stop. Okay, here we go. Woe is me. She's a black woman that got talked down to by the evil white man. Where was all this energy when AOC was talking down to the white men of the gun industry, essentially accusing them of being closet white supremacists?
And this is featured prominently in your advertisement, that tattoo. You've indicated that you don't know what it is, but Ms. Sampson As an expert in this area, can you briefly tell us what that tattoo is?
That's a fall knot, and it's a symbol that has been increasingly embraced by white supremacists.
So, Mr. Daniel, you may or may not know, but your company's advertisement prominently displays iconography associated with white supremacist movements. Are you aware that your advertising department uses imagery affiliated with white supremacist movements in its marketing materials?
No, ma'am, I don't think we do.
Reclaiming my time. Thank you. I apologize. I just have to move a bit quickly to fit these questions in. Mr. Bussey, you are a former reclaiming my time. And the toxic marketing does do enormous harm. We've seen the results with white supremacists using these weapons to target and kill Black Americans shopping for groceries in Buffalo, attending church in Charleston, targeting Jewish communities in Tree of Life. And Mr. Daniel, once again, as the CEO of Daniel Defense, yes or no, do you believe that members of identified extremist hate groups such as the Proud Boys or Oath Keepers should be able to purchase the AR-15 style rifles that your company sells?
Congresswoman, we're regulated by the ATF through laws which you pass. We are very good at only.
Thank you. I apologize. I just have a limited amount of time. Thank you.
Yeah, so prime example of what Sonny Holston is talking about, the problem in congressional hearings, except this time the act is being committed by her Lord and Savior, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, in which Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not letting these industry representatives of the gun industry talk, right? And not letting them speak, okay, and to answer her question because she has no interest in hearing what they have to say. She's just trying to get up here real quick and smear them as white supremacists, right? Or put it this way, they are facilitating white supremacy and are responsible for Black and brown people being killed by white supremacists. That's her whole goal. Not interested in hearing what she has to say at all. At least in that exchange with Representative Higgins, he actually gave her a chance to give an answer to the question, right? Even though she wasn't trying to answer the question, he gave her a chance. She clearly wasn't trying to answer, and that's just how the exchange went. That's how it goes, right? But again, you know, you don't see that type of outrage of AOC disrespectfully not letting a white man talk and say his piece while she basically accuses him and his industry and his company of marketing to white supremacists.
He also kept calling her young lady, which, you know, this is an attorney. This is somebody who leads an important think tank and is there as an expert witness. And I worked in Congress for many years. I dealt with this so much with male members of Congress where it's like, no matter what your role was there, I was there as a senior advisor to them. And it was, oh yeah, young lady, little girl. And it's like, how are we still doing that? It's 2022.
Pet names, little pet names. Those are always very demeaning. And
they are.
I remember like,
oh my God. So if I got outraged, upset every time somebody calls me a young man. Hey, young man, how you doing? Bruh, I don't ever think twice about it. I don't, boo, oh my God, I'm a grown 27-year-old man. You're still calling me a young man. I'm not a young man. That is what this is, right? These women who melt down just because an older man says, hey, young lady, right? I mean, God, man. These people will find anything to be upset about. It happens to everybody. You don't know how many times I've been called, hey, young fella. Hey, young man. You know, I mean, it happens all the time when you are on the younger side. Even when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you may be a full-grown adult. But if somebody's in their 50s or their 60s or their 70s, that's just how they refer to people that are younger than them, significantly younger than them. It's not something that you should be offended by or is disrespectful. It's just how people talk. But again, these women, they just get hurt by anything. What's the point of having this so-called conservative woman up here? I don't understand. She has the same opinions they have. She just hates Trump.
Asking me to order him lunch, and I was like, that's
race,
not my job.
Well, you're both talking this.
Yeah, sorry. What did you say? I was just saying it's all about power because they're pointing out the age, the sex, the race to keep making that person feel smaller.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Bruh, I can't with these people. I really can't. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.